Okay, hello everyone. Thank you for joining us today. So my name is Kirill and I work at Humber College. And today I'm going to speak about studying in Canada. And I will speak about Humber College, the programs that we offer. If you get any questions, you can ask them in the chat box and I'll answer you as we go. We have 45 minutes, so let's not delay and start with my presentation. So we have a lot to cover and we get everything covered. So we are Humber College and we are based in Toronto in Canada. Canada is a very large country with very small population, only about 37 million. And if you study in Canada, Canadian government is interested in graduates to stay and work in Canada as well after graduation. So there is very good conditions created for international students to study, to work, to gain their experience, and to settle if they enjoy their life there. Studying in Canada, similar to studying in any English-speaking country, is an investment because you need to pay for your tuition and for your living expenses. And as with any investment, you would be asking yourself, what am I getting back? What is the return on my investment in my education? From that point of view, Canada is one of the best countries to invest in your studies because you get maximum returns. First of all, it's the high standards of education. So in Canada, majority of the universities and colleges are government schools, so they're funded by the government, and that means that the quality of education is very high. Colleges and universities can attract some of the best lecturers and professors, so that's reflected in the quality. What it also means is that Canadian diploma is worldwide recognized, and with Canadian qualification and Canadian experience, you can start your career anywhere in the world. It's a good foundation for your future career. Canada offers one of the best post-study employment opportunities. So as a student, you can work while studying on campus, off campus, and as a graduate, you can get up to 3 years post-study work visa. So this is one of the best conditions in any of the English-speaking countries. Tuition fee is very much affordable, and cost of living is also very much affordable. So when you compare Canada to other English-speaking countries like US, UK, or Australia, Canada is the most affordable in terms of cost of living and studying. Canada is also a very safe country, especially if you compare it to our neighboring United States. It's much, much more safer. So when you look at Canada as a country where you go to study, it's one of the best countries to invest your money in because you get the most returns. What's the difference between colleges and universities? Because in many countries, it's not the same. So I'll talk a little bit more about this. In Canada, colleges and universities are both public institutions, so they get funded by the government. Both colleges and universities have bachelor degree programs. Now, in many countries, colleges don't offer bachelor degrees. So the question would be then, what's the difference if you can do bachelors at both college and university? Now, the difference is that universities, they get additional funding for research and science. So programs like master's or PhD or doctorate, so any programs that involve research, you would study at the university because universities get money for this. Colleges, they are more career-based institutions. So in the college program, you have much more focus on doing your work placement internship, so you gain practical experience as you study. So if you want to become a scientist, university is probably a better place. If you want to start professional career in any field, then college is probably a better choice. At the college level, we offer different types of programs. First of all, we offer programs for someone who finished their secondary school. So you need to finish your high school to be eligible to study at the college in Canada. We have 1-year certificate programs. We have 2-year diplomas. We have 3 years advanced diploma programs. And we also have 4-year bachelor degrees. So if you're finishing your high school or you're planning to continue your studies after high school, these are the types of programs we offer. For someone who already has a university degree, if you already studied at university, we have graduate certificate programs. They are usually 1 or 2-year programs like these ones here. We do not offer master's or PhD programs. As I mentioned, in Canada, majority of the master's programs involve research and there are very few master's programs with the coursework. So if you have your degree, if you have some work experience, you can continue with the graduate certificate program with us. We don't have high school programs, so if you're still not finished your high school, unfortunately, we don't have programs. There are a lot of questions about the difference between diploma programs, which are 2 or 3 years, and bachelor degree programs. And to explain the difference, I basically need to speak about advantages and disadvantages of each program. Now, bachelor degree is always a 4 year. So on this graph on the right side, you can see a bachelor degree. Diploma programs, they are only 2 or 3 years. I compare them by 3 different parameters. First of all is the flexibility. So if you study bachelor's degree, it's always a 4 year program. You cannot drop after 2 or 3 years. If you leave your school after 2 or 3 years, you will not get qualification and you don't have work visa to work. So if you do bachelor's degree, it's a 4 year commitment. Not much flexibility. With diploma program, if you study 2 years or if you study advanced diploma for 3 years, you have a choice. First of all, you can start your professional career and you can work. So after 2 or 3 years of study, you can get post-study work visa and you can start your career. That's the first choice. The second choice, you can transfer to bachelor's degree, study for 2 or 3 more years, get your bachelor's, and then you can continue with your professional career. So with the diploma program, there is a bit of a choice. Either 2 years or 3 years diploma, they give you a right for 3 years post-study work visa, so it qualifies you. The third parameter is the budget. So the bachelor degree tuition fee is between $19,000 to $20,000 per year. So you need to pay 4 years by $19,000. The diploma program is only about 16,000 Canadian dollars per year. So you only pay 2 years by 15,000. So depending on the budget, you can select different program, either bachelor's 4 years, paying 19,000, or diploma 2 or 3 years, paying 16,000, 15,000. Also, it's important to consider long-term plans. For some students, it's really important to have a bachelor's degree to start a large career, ambitious career, so they can go straight into bachelor's. For other students, they're happy with a quick qualification to start their work. So diploma is a better choice for them. So these are the different parameters of the diploma programs and bachelor degree programs. A little bit about Toronto. So our Humber College is located in Toronto. It's the largest city in Canada. It's the 4th largest city in North America after New York, Los Angeles, and Mexico. Toronto is the 4th largest city. And it's always featured in the list of most livable cities. So Toronto is in the 7th position in those top most livable cities in the world. So it's a really nice place to study and to live as a student. Also, there are lots of job opportunities in Toronto because there are lots of international and Canadian companies who open their head offices in Toronto. So it's quite easy to find a job as a student. It's quite easy to find a company to do internship or work placement at, as well as to find a job after you graduate. Humber College, we are one of the largest colleges in Canada. We have over 33,000 students, about 6,500 international students, over 200 different programs, so a lot to choose from. And as I mentioned, we're very much career focused. That's why 79% of our programs, they include work placement or internship or co-op. So we make sure that you gain your experience as you study. You don't just get theoretical knowledge. And that leads to a very high employment rate. So 85% of our graduates get employed within 6 months after graduation. Also, 97% of employers are happy with our graduates. So we do surveys, or the Canadian government does the surveys of the companies, and our graduates, they're doing really well. So we are a very large college with a lot of programs to choose from. We have 2 campuses in Toronto. Toronto is a typical North American city with a downtown part here and large suburbs. So the North Campus is up here. It's about 45 minutes from downtown. And it's the largest campus. We have about 23,000 students studying here. Most of the programs are delivered here. Lakeshore Campus is by the lake, as you can see it from the name. We have about 11,000 students studying at the lakeshore. These campuses are in very good locations, so it's a very academic atmosphere. Nothing distracts students from their studies, and living expenses here are much less compared to the downtown part of Toronto. At the same time, it's quite easy to get to the downtown. The public transport system works very well. It takes only about half an hour from here to get to the downtown, and about 45 minutes from the North Campus. So it's a very good location. We have 6 faculties and a lot of programs to offer. So say Faculty of Business is a very large school. We have such programs as accounting, finance, logistics, supply chain management, programs in hospitality, tourism operations, lots of different programs in digital business management and so on. Applied Science and Technology is another big school. They offer programs like architecture, civil engineering, mechanical, electrical, programs in IT like computer programming, computer engineering, game programming. So a lot to choose from as well. Very popular faculty between our students. Media and creative arts, programs like journalism, public relations, marketing, film and television production, acting. So a lot to choose from in media and creative arts. Health science is a smaller school, but nevertheless, they have some really strong programs like Bachelor of Nursing, pharmacy technician, biotechnology, and so on. So a lot to choose from in there. Faculty of Social Science is a smaller school. They have programs like child and youth care, behavioral science, and so on. We do have bachelor degree programs. So 28 different bachelor programs, anything from accounting to marketing, from design to paralegal studies, international development, and so on. We have over 50 postgraduate programs. So programs like global business management, IT solutions, business insights analytics, and so on. So these are the programs for someone who already has a bachelor degree and would like to continue with their postgraduate qualification. This is not a master's degree. This is one step below master's, but this is for someone who would like to improve their career or extend their professional skills. Most of these programs are 1 year in duration. With the exception of these 3 programs which I mentioned, they are 2 years. But as a postgraduate student, normally students pick up 2-year programs, because if you study for 1 year, you only get 1 year post-study work visa. But if you study 2 years, you get up to 3 years post-study work visa. So students either do 2-year programs right away, or they combine 2 1-year programs, which makes them eligible for 3 years post-study work visa. We also have English for academic purposes program. This is an English language courses. So if you need to improve your English before you start your studies at Humber College, you can come and study English with us. There are 8 levels, so depending on which is your level, you can pick one. And each level goes for 8 weeks, so 2 months. And it costs about 3,000 Canadian dollars for one level. So if your English is not strong enough and you would like to improve it in Canada, you can do it at Humber College. In Canada, there are 3 intakes. So we work by trimesters: January, May, and September. September is our main intake, so all of our programs are starting in September. There is also January intake, so 75% of the programs, they also start in January. May is the smallest. We have only about 5% of the programs that start in May. So you can start basically throughout the whole year. We don't have application deadlines, but it's really important to apply early. So I recommend to apply 10 months, 9 months before the programs start. So in this slide, you can see that for fall September intake, we started accepting applications in November last year. And so that's about 10 months before September. And I recommended to apply before December. It doesn't mean that you cannot apply now. We still accept applications for September, but the number of seats is very limited. So it's really important, if you decide to study at Humber College, to submit your application as early as possible, preferably 10 months before the program starts. To apply, you need to have, first of all, your evidence of English qualification, so your IELTS or TOEFL certificate, and second, your academic performance. So if you're finishing high school, we will be looking at your high school results for your past couple of years. If you're applying after university, that would be your university transcripts. So English and academic performance. You don't need to have letters of recommendation or motivational letters. All you need to have is your English evidence of your English qualification, and also your high school results or university results. Some programs, they have additional requirements. So for instance, if you're studying something like photography or graphic design or industrial design, so basically creative programs, you also need to provide portfolio or examples of your creative work. But that only applies for such creative programs. In terms of English requirements, as I mentioned, we accept IELTS certificate. You can see it on this slide. TOEFL, Pearson certificate. Right now, if you apply for September intake, you can also do online tests. Because in many countries, and I think in Turkey as well, all of the IELTS centers are closed. And if you need to take the test, you can do something called Duolingo. Duolingo is an online platform where you can do online tests, and we will accept your results. So you don't need to go to the IELTS center. But if you have IELTS, if you apply for 2 or 3 years diploma program, the overall score should be 6.0, and it shouldn't be less than 5.5 in each section. If you apply for bachelor or postgraduate program, your overall score should be 6.5, and it shouldn't be less than 6 in every section. So this is a requirement in terms of English. And as I mentioned, of course, you can apply with TOEFL or any other certificate. Tuition fee. So the question would be, how much does it cost to study? So the diploma program, 2 or 3 years, is about 16,000 Canadian dollars per year. Bachelor degree is about 19,000 Canadian dollars per year, and graduate certificate is about 17,000. I always show it in USD as well. So on the right, you can see how much approximately it would be in United States dollars. So you can see it's very much affordable. This is tuition, which also includes your medical insurance. In addition to this cost, there is also living expenses. So for your books and supplies, for your homestay, residence, rental accommodation, depends on what you pick, this will form your living expenses. So some students decide to stay with Canadian family, so they need to pay between $7,000 to $8,000. Some students decide to stay on campus residence, so that's between $9,000 to $11,000, and for rental accommodation is between $4,000 to $8,000 per year. So altogether, the overall budget for your tuition and for living expenses is around 30,000 Canadian dollars per year. We also have scholarships. So for bachelor degree, if you're applying to study bachelor, you can get up to $4,000 in scholarship. Now, this is granted based on your high school performance, so on your GPA. The better you've done in your high school, the higher would be the scholarship. So if your high school results was very high, then you can get up to $4,000 discount on your tuition. This is also a renewable scholarship. So if you continue keeping the same GPA while you're studying at Humber, you will continue getting this scholarship. So basically, with bachelor degree scholarship, you can reduce the cost of your tuition. As I mentioned before, there are 3 options where you can live. You can stay on campus. Both of our campuses in Toronto have student residences, so you can live there. If you stay on campus, you are provided with meals, so you can eat at the residence. We have different cantinas there, or you can eat anywhere on campus. We have cafes and restaurants everywhere. If you decide to live off campus, there are 2 options. You can either stay with Canadian family. In this option, you will also get the meals, or you can rent your own accommodation. For someone who just finishing their high school, so for the young students, I recommend to either stay on campus residence or to stay with Canadian family. For postgraduate students, more mature students, it's probably easier if they rent their own accommodation. On campuses, we have all amenities that you would expect for North American campus. So we have our offices, first of all, international student centers. You can come and ask any questions there and get full assistance. Also, we have Wi-Fi everywhere, of course, on residence and on the campus. We have computer labs and study areas. Some of them are open 24 hours, so you can come and study at any time, work on your projects. We also have athletic centers, so we have swimming pools, basketball rinks, fitness, football fields. So it depends on what types of sport you play. It's all available. It's absolutely for free for you. And we also have very convenient public transport. So there are bus stops, and buses come every 2 or 3 minutes. So it's quite easy to get around Toronto from our campuses. We do assist our students with career services. So we help you to gain your experience as you study. As I mentioned in the beginning, colleges are very much career focused. So we make sure that you gain your experience as you study, and that makes you more employable. So in Canada, as a student, you can work 20 hours per week while you study. You can work on campus or off campus, doesn't matter. And on holidays, you can work up to 40 hours per week. So you can work full-time on holidays. After you graduate, if you studied for 1 year, you can get between 8 to 12 months work visa. But if you studied for 2 years or more, you can get up to 3 years post-study work visa. With a post-study work visa, you can work anywhere in Canada, do what you like. In the future, if you enjoy your life in Canada and if you worked at least 1 year in your field of study, you can apply for permanent residency. You're eligible to apply for permanent residency. Now, we help our students with gaining their internship. We organize career fairs. So basically, this is big events on campus when students can meet with their potential employers, talk about employment opportunities with them. We also help you with your resume and cover letter. For many students, it's their first job search experience, so we help them to put together their resume. We help them to go through the questions that they'll be asked at the interview and so on. We also organize mock interviews, so basically you go through all the questions with our career advisors. So we do all of this, but we cannot guarantee you employment, of course, because many parents or students ask me, do you guarantee that I will get a job? Now, in Canada, nobody can guarantee that you will get a job because it's a free competing market environment. But we help you as a student to gain maximum experience, to become more employable after you graduate. So by the time you finish Humber College, you will have diploma in one hand and you will have your resume with Canadian experience in the other hand. And that will make you much more employable compared to other graduates. We do have some exclusive student services at Humber. So we have something called Connect program. This is an academic support program. So if in case you're struggling with your studies, if there's something you don't understand in your new concept in the class, or the assignment is too difficult, so you can always come to Connect and we will help you with your studies. You don't need to worry that if you don't understand something, you'll be left alone. It's really important to ask for this assistance because many students are very shy when they come to Canada and start their studies. So if you're concerned that it will be difficult to study, don't worry, we will help you with that. Also, we organize all sorts of different students' workshops. So when you first come to Humber, you don't start right away with your courses. The first few days is usually the orientation. During orientation, they explain how your medical insurance works, how you can ask for help, where you can buy medicine. We explain you how your work permit works, how you can get your tax number, how to open a bank account, and so on. So the first 3 days, you make new friends and you learn about how to organize your student life in Canada. So we do all of this so you don't have to worry that you will struggle as an international student. That's about it for my presentation. We have our social media pages. So we have very informative Facebook page, Instagram account, Twitter, of course, YouTube, and so on. That's about it for my presentation. Let me see if you have any questions. No, I don't. If you have any questions, you can ask me now so I can answer your questions. And while we wait for the questions, let me just play the video of our college. Okay.
Kirill, the video ended.
Okay, all right. I think that's it for the video. If there are any questions, I'll be happy to answer. I don't think, okay, there's something in the questions section. Programs do you have for postgraduate? Okay, there is a question, what programs do you have for postgraduate? We have over 50 different postgraduate programs. So it depends on your area of your previous study and your experience. We can select a program for you. For postgraduate students, it's really important to pick the program which is linked to your previous education and your experience. So for instance, if you've been working in business and if your previous education was in economics maybe, then it's best for you to continue with business. Or for instance, if you've been working in hospitality and tourism, it's best for you to continue with tourism, not to change the field. It is possible to apply for different programs. So for instance, if you studied business, if you've been doing business, but now you want to study IT, it is possible to apply, but it might be difficult with student visa application because you need to make a choice which fits your previous qualification. So that's important. But yes, as I mentioned, we have over 50 postgraduate programs. A lot to choose from. All you need to apply is to have your bachelor degree, to show that you have your bachelor degree, and to show evidence of your English, which is IELTS or TOEFL. If you have that, you can apply for our postgraduate programs. Okay, I don't think our student can join because he only got a link as a listener. I don't think he has a link as attendee. So we will skip that part, but if there are any questions, I can answer. Is there any GPA requirements? Good question. Your GPA should be around 60% or above. So if you studied well in your university, that should be fine. But if you studied terribly wrong, badly, then it might be difficult. So GPA is 60%, 60% or above. Postgraduate programs, most of them are 1 year, with exception of 3 programs, which are 2 years. Let me just show my presentation again. Okay, so now it's here. Let me get to postgraduates. Here, okay. So these are postgraduate programs, you can see it. And you can see 3 programs are involved: Global Business Management, Business Insights and Analytics, and IT Solutions. So these 3 programs are 2 years. Everything else is 1 year. So for instance, if you are interested in something like MBA, so postgraduate program in business with lots of different specialization streams like finance or banking or management or accounting, you can go Global Business Management. It's a 2-year program. If you're someone who works in, say, analytics or investment banking or finance or consulting, then we have Business Insights and Analytics for you. This is also a 2-year program. If you have background in IT, if you would like to extend your studies in IT, or for instance, if you would like to learn more about IT but not necessarily have background in IT, you can do Information Technology Solutions. This is also a 2-year program. All of the other programs are 1 year. Now, for many postgraduate students, it's really important to have at least 2 years of study, so you can always combine 2 1-year programs. So, for example, if you have background in teaching English, You can do 1 year of TESOL, teaching English as a second language, and then you can do 1 year as something like event management, for example. Or if your background is in hospitality, you can study for 1 year hospitality tourism operations management, and then 1 year event management. So you'll have total of 2 years of study, and you can get 3 years for study work visa. So yeah, as you can see, there is a lot to choose from. Just important to find the right program for your background. No problem, Nas. If there are any other questions, please don't be shy. You can probably ask them in Turkish as well. My colleagues will help me translate if I don't understand. So you can type your questions both in English or in Turkish. The question about tuition fees, sure. A graduate certificate program is 17,000 Canadian dollars per year. That's about 13,000 US dollars per year. Tuition fee is paid by semesters. So if you see $70,000, it doesn't mean you have to pay right away for the full year. You pay first for your first semester, and then after 6 months for your second semester. So you break this amount into 2 and pay it twice a year. So 70,000 per year, that makes it about, what, 6,500 for each semester. 8,500 for each semester. In addition to tuition fees, as I mentioned, you also have living expenses. So on average, total expenses per year is about 30,000 Canadian dollars. This is the amount that Canadian government would ask you to show on the bank account when you apply for student visa. So when we don't ask you to show evidence of funds, but when you apply for the student visa, this is the money you need to show in the bank account to get student visa. 30,000 for 1 year of studies. Thank you for the questions. If there is no other questions, I think we can probably finish today's section. Let me just quickly say that right now everyone is struggling with the pandemic. So in terms of studies at Humber, we have online delivery. So right now we have a summer term which just starts on 19th of May, and it will be delivered fully online. We are hoping that by September, we will open Canadian borders and students can come and start their studies on campus. But in the case still it's not possible to travel, it's no worries. September intake will start online. And then as soon as students can travel to Canada, then we will continue on campus face-to-face. So we adapt to this environment. So we do online delivery of our courses. And as soon as you can start traveling and Canadian border opens, students can continue with their studies on campus. Some of our students were concerned that if they study online, will they still be eligible to apply for 3 years or 2 years work visa? Now, the answer is yes. Even if you study part of your course online, you're still eligible to apply for post-study work visa after graduation. That's a question that many students ask me. But there is no concern. I mean, we will continue with our studies. We will continue with delivery. We will just adapt to the environment.
Kirill, I don't think there is going to be any more questions, so goodbye, like you said. Thank you very much for your participation. It was great. I wish that it was possible for your student to join us, but unfortunately he couldn't receive an email. So you can maybe leave your email address in the chat box. So if the students have any more questions, they can contact you personally.
Yes, absolutely. If you have any questions, feel free to send me email. So I'll be happy to answer your questions. Also, if you would like to schedule an appointment with me, it is also quite possible. I can speak with you personally online, answer all of your questions about your future studies at Humber College. We can discuss what kind of program fits you most and so on. Let me just send you the link. So on this page, you can schedule a personal meeting with me, and I'll be happy to speak with you personally and answer all of your questions.
Perfect. Thank you, Kirill.
Thank you, Zelchem. Thank you.
Have a good day. Bye.
Bye-bye.